Star Wars 7x7, episode 2457. Earlier this week, we actually started the week talking about The Mandalorian and what we learned about him in Season 2. Well, there's more that we got to talk about because Season 3 could be quite difficult for The Mandalorian. Punch it. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So we've already talked about a little bit of this in previous episodes, in particular the fact that with the Mandalorian in possession of the Darksaber and having won it through combat with Moff Gideon, and the fact that apparently this thing has its own particular story, its own particular mythology, and so he can't just say, I yield, here, take it, to Bo-Katan and be done with it. Yeah, this sets up an entirely different Season 3. Now, there's probably not going to be a situation where the Mandalorian is just bopping around on a bounty hunting job and Bo-Katan pops up from behind a storage container someplace and and smacks him around and he just lets her beat him and says, oh, I guess you got me. Like, she's going to see through that. It's not going to work. It has to be legit somehow. So he's going to have to get rid of the Darksaber in some way, or I guess maybe perhaps more accurately, the writers of The Mandalorian for Season 3 are going to have to find a way for the Mandalorian to lose the Darksaber for Bo-Katan to go after it. Now, one of the things that we've also talked about with regard to the Mandalorian and his future in the series is the fact that he has violated one aspect of the way, one aspect of his particular version of Mandalorian being a part of the Children of the Watch, meaning that he has taken his helmet off not once but twice, and so his face has been seen by people as an adult, and as we talked about on the show, there are other people who are aware that he has taken off his helmet in front of other people, so he has violated that particular aspect of the credo. How serious an offense that is, we don't yet know. But considering that Bo-Katan has described the Children of the Watch as religious zealots who are looking to restore a very ancient kind of Mandalorian way of going about things, it seems like it's probably going to be taken way more seriously by them. And you might wonder whether that means the Children of the Watch would reject him if they would say, nope, we don't want any part of you anymore, and would that make him just, a complete outcast with no Mandalorians to be able to team up with anymore, right? Because he can't go with Bo-Katan and the Night Owls because they want to get the Darksaber away from him, and that's going to cause a problem. Couldn't go with the Children of the Watch because he's violated their credo. One thing he could possibly do is hand over the Darksaber to the Armorer, and why wouldn't he anyway? Because he doesn't want anything to do with it. The Armorer seems to be the de facto leader of that particular tribe of Mandalorians, and by doing so, that would probably set up a fight between Bo-Katan and the Armorer, and I think that would be a legit fight, as in the Armorer would probably fight Bo-Katan for the right to keep the Darksaber, whereas Din certainly wouldn't do that and has no intention of doing that. I also had a moment of considering one of the Pink Panther movies where Peter Sellers as the Pink Panther is at Oktoberfest and there are a number of assassins trying to kill him and they all end up killing each other or ending up dead themselves. And yeah, wouldn't that be silly for the Mandalorian to be on some random planet and a bunch of other assassins are trying to take the Darksaber away from him and just, getting in each other's way and killing each other. That just, makes me happy to think about. It just seems like a very silly thing to think about for me. I'm just amused. Anyway, so here's the thing though. If there are at least two groups that might be interested in possessing the Darksaber and eventually taking back the rule of Mandalore, might there be other groups as well? So not just Bo-Katan's Mandalorians, not just the Armorer's tribe, but other Mandalorian groups that survive the Great Purge. And if that's the case, then Season 3 could get really complicated. But there is one Mandalorian that I think wouldn't really be too invested in getting a hold of the Darksaber and taking over Mandalore, and that's Boba Fett. I think Boba Fett is perfectly happy being a simple man trying to make his way in the galaxy, and that does not include ruling Mandalore. He just wanted his armor and to get revenge and to continue to be a criminal in the galactic underworld. I don't see him being particularly more ambitious than that. I don't think he's going to try and pull a Maul and take over Mandalore and try to, bring together multiple criminal organizations or anything like that. I think he's going to be happy just writing his own ticket. But I'd love to hear what you think about that. If you think Boba Fett is going to be a help or a hindrance, or just not want to have anything to do with the Mandalorian and what's going to be happening with the Darksaber and ultimately the rightful rulership of Mandalore. So chime in wherever you catch the show or at home base for it at sw7x7.com. And that is going to do it for this episode of the show. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it, as always, and may the Force be with you, wherever in the world you may be.
Star Wars 7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.